Hey guys, welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. This is your weekly installment of Meatloaf, and this is number 74. We've got a pile of viewer appreciation packages that showed up. I ordered a couple things off eBay, or actually I got a tool off eBay and I ordered some stuff for the shop. What else? Yeah. We got a little project. We're going to help out a fellow YouTuber, our good buddy A-Bomb79, otherwise known as Adam Booth. He asked me for a little favor, and we're going to help him out and make something for him to send out to him. And so we'll show that. What else? I don't know. This is kind of an interesting one. Also, there'll be a separate video coming out at the same time as this, a little t-shirt update. So I got the new proofs, and so go check out, it'll be called t-shirt update, something like that. And so go check that out. The guys that signed up for a t-shirt, there's a little information in there for you, so check that out. And I don't know, let's go check out some cool goodies here. Okay, so this is the one from Mr. James T. Kilroy. Okay, and he sent me a sticker. Cool, I got a sticker from James. And this is this kind of Mark II version of this R8 indicator holder. And James printed a bunch of these for me, which is cool. And so what I'm going to do is, I stuck magnets in one of them just to try it out, and it works pretty good. So you can move the magnets around in the pocket a little bit to get just the feel that you want. And they hold nice and secure. And this is kind of an interesting way to make them too, using kind of modern technology there to knock these out. So I think I'm going to pass one of these on to Mick down at the UC Berkeley Mechanical Engineering Shop, and because it was really his rendition of one of these that I briefly glimpsed that kind of got me going on it. So I'm going to return the favor and give one back to him. Maybe I'll give him one with magnets in it, so so he can use it at least. So anyway, James, thank you very much. Those look great, and I've already tried this one out, and it works awesome with the 3 magnets in it. So the viewers had suggested the axial magnets. It works really good. Actually, you can get too much force pretty easily. So it's nice to be able to move these around a little bit, and then you can kind of tune it a little bit. So okay, so let's move on to the next thing here. I got a huge pile of stuff here, and I got to zip through it pretty quick. So okay, so this next one here, this is let me peel this off here. This is a kind of an all-natural cutting oil that was sent to me by Rick Brandt, and he's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He bought, I don't know, I guess he bought a case of this or something like that, or he couldn't get it in a small quantity, so he said, hey, you want to try some? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll try some. And it says eco-friendly. And one of the things that he said is it smells good, or it doesn't smell at all. And it really has no smell that I can kind of pick up on, but that doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't smell as bad as me. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, we'll give this a try and see how it works. And Rick, thank you very much. That's a nice gift. Cutting oil is always useful around the shop, so we'll give that a go and test it out. Thanks. All right. So this next one, this comes to us from a fellow YouTube creator, Don Cossitt, and he's up in Oregon. And he wants to build a boring head, or he started working on a boring head, and so I sent him one that he could use as a, kind of a model to help him visualize some of the stuff. So he sent it back recently, and stuffed in the box was some of these really nice screwdrivers here, and these are kind of gunsmithing screwdrivers. They have a machined point. and with parallel sides. So it's a normal, craftsman screwdriver or whatever is kind of angled, and these have parallel sides which don't tend to lift out of the screw when you rotate them. Why normal screwdrivers aren't really made that way, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. But these are nice parallel ones, and they look like they're ground on the ends real nicely, and it's a nice little set. So firearms is one of those things where you really don't want to booger the screws because it really looks terrible when you do it. So Don, thank you very much. Those are nice screwdrivers made in the USA, and I'm sure it says wear safety glasses and other screwdriver. Yeah, and they're calling them gunsmith screwdrivers. So officially. So Don, thank you very much. Those are really nice, and who doesn't need a nice set of screwdrivers? Okay, so this next one comes to us from Sam Gable, and Sam and I email back and forth a fair amount, and just chit-chatting about stuff. And I guess he got this with I think he said a box of ham radio stuff at an auction. So he was after the ham radio stuff, and this kind of came with it. And he asked if I was interested in it or if I could pass this along to somebody that could use this. So let's open it up. Let's take a look at it. It's kind of an interesting set. And what we have here is it's a Starrett 225 micrometer, and this is a multiple anvil micrometer with standards. Now this is metric, just so you know, and you can see the graduations on the barrel there. So this is a metric mic. The whole set's metric. Okay. What's interesting though is this is a whole kind of cylinder measuring set, and this lifts up here, and we'll set that aside. And then there's an inside mic here too, metric also, a little set of feeler gauges, okay? And then there's nothing under there other than some instructions and some other stuff. But what's here is one of the cylinder gauges. So what this is this is basically it's a bore gauge, okay? Specifically optimized for kind of automotive size cylinders or whatever, so it's pretty good size. And now there's something wrong with this one here. The indicator doesn't move, so what I'll probably do is send this back to Starrett and see what it's going to take to fix that. And this, you can see that rod extends out. So the idea is, now normally this would move and the indicator would move. You would set this with a micrometer here to the nominal bore size, okay? And then you'd get a plus or a minus on the bore size. Now this one's a 100th of a millimeter graduations here, and then that retracts in there. And then inside the handle is another rod here for even larger cylinders. So that's kind of how that would, actually interestingly, these are not not grounded a radius, which is kind of un-Starrett like, I think. So anyway, so that's kind of how that thing works there. So like I said, what I'll probably do is I'll go ahead and ship this back to Starrett and get a repair estimate for that, and see if we can get this set in top shape here, and check it out. Well, Sam, that's a really nice gift. Thank you very much. And I don't particularly have a use for this myself. It's a really nice set, and I don't have a metric micrometer this large. And these multi-anvil ones are pretty nice too. They cover a wide range there. Anyway, we'll be talking about this later on too, so we'll get it fixed and see what happens. Sam, thank you, appreciate it, and thanks for sending something into the show. Okay, so this next one is rather large here, and let's see, let's get it all together here, kind of in one spot here. We can kind of look it over here. This comes to us from Cliff Fender. And he's in Michigan, And Cliff has a machinery repair business out there. He does all kinds of machinery repair. And let's see if we can, yeah, this is it. So there's his card there, Cliff Fender. And so he goes out on call and they re-scrape machines, they put spindle bearings and stuff, and I'm sure they do electrical and all those things associated with machinery repair. In fact, Cliff was telling me via email that they're working on a 12-foot swing Blanchard grinder right now, putting new spindle bearings in it. And that's actually a pretty impressive machine. It's probably 300 horsepower, something like that. And it'll grind basically a circle that's 12 feet in diameter, so pretty neat. So anyway, Cliff, I guess he was rooting around in the shop and throwing stuff in a box over a period of weeks, and because there's about 20 different notes with this, and he wanted me to make sure to open this one here. He says 100K inside, so be sure to open that up. Everything was kind of individually wrapped in paper towels, and he did a nice job wrapping all this stuff up. So you guys can see some of these things right out of the gate. So we got some Cincinnati C-clamps here, okay, and these are these stamped ones here. These are pretty cool. Super Juniors. I think Adam has some of these and likes them. So we got a couple of those. We got some little spring hand clamps. These are always kind of handy for holding drawings up and schematics and things like that. You know, those always come in kind of handy. And I'm just gonna kind of scoot my way down here. So these are some inspection mirrors here. These are I'm not going to open them up, but there's, I don't know, 4 mirrors in there. They're glass, and I think these are replacement mirrors for those articulating inspection mirrors. So anyway, Cliff, thanks for those. I always like looking at myself. So then we got a hammer handle here. Okay, now this is a you see it's a rectangular cross section. Oh, this one's interesting. It's got the wedge cut at an angle across there, which you don't see too often. This is a carpenter's hammer handle here, all right, and 16 to 20 ounce apparently. So those, you know, we can reshape those and put a head on that. That's cool. We got some a couple of multi screwdrivers. And oh yeah, this is so this is a Stanley one here, and it has a bit that pops and you can flip it around. So if you ever have to climb a ladder or something like that and take a screwdriver with you, this style is my favorite here. You can flip them around, and they have multiple sizes of bits on them, you know, for one screwdriver. So those are always really handy. That's kind of my favorite toolkit screwdriver there. Those are great. Got a lumber crayon here, or lipstick, not sure which, Cliff. So I'll try it as lipstick, see how it looks, but an ox with lipstick on it might not be that nice. Got a little chuck on a stick here, and this is kind of nice. You can put a little reamer in it, or a little file or something like that, or a drill bit, and do a little hand action there. That's a nice setup. Little Jacobs, and it's a stainless chuck too, so that's kind of nice. And then to kind of go with that, he sent me a little selection of reamers that he had doubles on and wasn't using. So I haven't looked at the sizes. Oh, 1/8 I see in there. What else we got? So 3/16. Okay, yeah, there's some good sizes in there. So that's one of the things I got to do one of these days, is organize my reamers. I just have them in a drawer and they're not arranged. I always have to kind of dig through them and find the ones I want. I don't use them a lot, but they're just kind of in a drawer. So maybe that's a good excuse to go through those. So Cliff, that's really nice. Thank you. And then some taps. We got some little taps here. 080, 172, and 256. Little baby taps. So 256 is one of my favorite threads. It's really easy to tap. It's actually a pretty strong fastener too. So and the screws are not so small that they're impossible to handle, like, you know, clock screws and things like that. Starrett ruler, that's really nice. I mean, this is my favorite graduation here too. You got tenths and hundredths, and then on the other side you got 30 seconds and 64. So that's a good that's a, what is that, a C305R -6. So C means chrome, 305, 5R is a graduation. That's the basic model number, and then that's the length. So that's a 150 millimeter ruler for our metric friends there. Then this is kind of interesting too, and some of the folks that do manufacturing and maybe work in packaging plants might recognize this. Nordson makes hot glue melt for packaging that squirts hot glue down, and then you close the flaps of a carton, and so they make the hot melt thing. So those guys ought to get in a 3D printer business. So they already do a lot of that stuff. So what this is just a little kit, kind of like a kit for cleaning torch tips. And so it's got a little pin chuck here, made in France, and then some little individual wires for cleaning the nozzles of the Nordson glue heads. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to switch the camera. This segment's getting pretty long here, so I'm going to switch it, and we'll go through some of the rest of the stuff here. This one just keeps on going here. Okay, so this is this lot of stuff that came from Cliff Fender, and we got a little the continuation of the lot. So we got a little cant twist clamp, and this is just a real nice handy size. I think this one opens up 1 inch. This one will open up 1 inch. And you guys know I like these I like these cant twist clamps. They're pretty good. They're lower profile on the mill than C clamps. That's one really nice reason for using them. Then we got it's a chuck. And this chuck looks like it belongs to a drill or something like that. It's got a threaded shank on it, or a threaded mount. But this is brand new, never been used, and so it's a replacement drill chuck, and 3/8-24 thread. So anyway, we'll pass that along to somebody that might need a 3/8-24. So another thing you can do with this kind of a chuck here is you can make a little rig like this. Although this is a pretty good sized chuck for that. You generally want something a little smaller for a handheld thing. So, but you could put an arbor on there too. You could do all kinds of stuff. So we'll pass that along to somebody that can use it. So, all right. So can't twist. I've got some machinist squares here. Okay, these have seen a little bit of use, but they look pretty good still. They're not totally chewed up here. And let's see. Yeah, looks like it's a Mitutoyo set. Mitutoyo made in England, so that's kind of a new one for me. I don't know. Maybe they have a manufacturing plant there in England. I don't know. But anyway, it's a nice little set there, 3. And we can clean these up on the surface plate a little bit to knock any burrs off, and maybe we'll check them and see how square they are. That might be kind of a fun little side thing here. And then the last thing in this huge lot of stuff that the Cliff sent along here is this little, if I can open it up. So this is from Shars. This is a little tool supplier, and we got a very small indexable tool set. So and these are in there pretty good. So this uses this little I don't know, what is it, a T? That's a positive insert, so it's a TP something or other, and with a little chip breaker on it. It looks like about a 10 millimeter shank on 3/8 shank. Got some extra inserts here, okay, and pretty big radius on them, but they'll still work. And a wrench, and then a pile of extra screws here, which is always kind of cool if you drop one of those in the chip pan. Anyway, we got those too, so let's fold that up. Anyway, Cliff, that's a really nice lot of tools, and I'll find some, I have a set of these. I have insert tools. You guys are pretty familiar with what I have, and so Cliff said, "Hey, listen, send this out to the viewership if they can make use of this stuff, and put it in the hands of somebody that can use it." So we'll do that. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Thanks, Cliff. Okay, so this next lot of stuff comes to us from Melvin Helm, MD. And Melvin and I met each other kind of online. He's into telescopes, and he got a kick out of that work that we did down in Arizona on Mount Hopkins. And in fact, he knows the folks that were putting the instruments in that enclosure that we put together. So we started talking back and forth a little bit, and have had a little bit of email conversation. So now, if this isn't what I would call a push to do some scraping videos, I don't know what is. So Dr. Helm sent along a machine tool reconditioning book, a DVD, a neurologist approved scraper, some biax scraper blades to go with the scraper, and actually these are made for the powered unit here, so although it looks like you can use them here, and then you get a little bit of spring to the blade too. So looks like a 3/4 wide and then a 1-inch wide, and with this padded, this is a scraper made by DAPRA. And then in addition to that, he sent me a brayer here for spreading the bluing compound. And then these are pretty cool too. I'm gonna pull the clean one out here. This one's got ink in it, and I don't know what ink that is. Actually, I don't want to open that up. So this stuff is like anti-seize, right? One little drop of this, and you find it everywhere you walk. So anyway, it's a cool little, I don't know, a lotion dispensing bottle or something like that. And it's got a little seal there, and then a little fill plug there, or what is that? Oh, no, that's a suction cup, so you can stick it on. I guess you can hang these in the shower and put soap in them or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Pretty cool. And then a little brayer. And then some goof off. And I don't know if this is a subtle pun here, but this is good for removing tape residue and sticker stuff and general icky, gloppy weasel. Actually, this is a commercial weasel snot remover. So Melvin, thank you very much. This is wonderful. I'm going to watch these DVDs and see what's on here, because I am interested in scraping, and I've told folks I haven't done a lot of it in my career, but I'm interested in it because it's this hand technique that you can produce these really nice surfaces with. So this is great, and it gives me another scraper to try out here. Now this one is kind of designed so that you can put it against your body and then use your body to kind of help push, so you're not pushing with your palm and using high force on your joints and your hands and stuff. So we'll give that a try and see how that works out. And it's got one of these furred file handles on it too, which is nice. So this is a nice scraper. I kind of like this one. It looks pretty good. It's similar to the Sandvik, but different. So, and guys, you can make these yourself. I think this is over $100 from DAPRA. But you can see it's a pretty simple implement there. So anyway, Melvin, thank you very much. This is great. And so Melvin is a neurologist down in Fresno, and his specialty is headaches and then inner ear disturbances. So if you have inner ear problems or some kind of severe headache thing, you can look Dr. Helm up in Fresno, California, and he may be able to help you. So check it out. Okay, I'm going to help out Uncle Adam here. We're going to bend him one of these TIG torch holders here. Okay, so let's just get 2, 3, 4 bends, but they're out of plane. So we have to rotate the bending plane 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and get this set up here. We're going to put the smaller pin in here. And then I think I want, let's push that down. I have to do kind of this first bend is a little bit short here, okay? And so I'm going to use a different, what do we call it, shoe? I guess we call it a shoe. This one here. And this just drops on here and it gets up nice and close here. So that we can do a short return here. Now this is just cut off with a bolt cutter, so I'm going to go belt sand that real quick. And we'll go ahead and bend one up. Okay, so we did the end there, put a little end on it. And let's go ahead and do one here. So I'm just going to gauge these bends with a scale right off of the pin here. And I think that's what it was. Yeah, like 7/8. Okay. And this first bend is not quite 90. A little short of 90, something like that. You can always add a little more later. We'll just leave that. Now we're going to come out and then we're going to rotate. This is our first out of plane here. And then gauge the second bend so we make them all the same. And I'm just going to go 1 inch from the pin to the center of that bend. Right there, 25 millimeters. And I want to make sure that I'm straight with the world that way. Yes. So this will be a 90-degree bend. Eyeball 90. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, then we're going to go one more. Now this one here, I'm going to go 3/4 between the bend, and I'll just use the scale. And once again, I want to get it lined up with the world. Like that. Quick look at it, looks pretty good. And this will be 90 also. Make it look, visual 90 here. Yeah, it looks pretty tasty. All right, and then one more. So this will be the same length as this one, which is 1 inch. Go out to 1 inch, like that. And I'm going to take this one. There's a tendency for this one to roll, so I'm going to just take it out of plane just slightly. And when I come around, and what I'm looking for is this parallel with our stock there. I'm going to come around like that. Right. Pretty good. Okay. Well, there it is. So the TIG torch drops in there and kind of slides down with gravity, but it won't jump off the front if you bump it because it's got a gate on it. We like that? I think I like that. It's for Adam. I think. I don't. Boy, I didn't ask him what TIG torch he's got, did I? Okay. All right. Well, there it is. I'm going to bend a couple more for him, and we're going to throw them in a box. And for guys that are interested in this bender, if you go look on my blog, there's plans for this on my blog. You can make your own. This is a great little rod bender that you can add all kinds of appliances to bend all kinds of rods and flats and things like that. So, all right, Adam, there they are, bud, coming to you. Okay, so here's this eBay purchase. I got this off of eBay recently, and it showed up actually in time for this Meatloaf. And what this is this is a frame level. This is what I call it anyway. Actually, Weiler calls it a precision frame spirit level. So, so this is Weiler, sold by Fowler at some point here. Anyway, this is kind of a unique level, and as you guys know, I have a problem with tools in general and levels in particular. But this one's interesting because you can level, but you can also check perpendicularity, or you can check a vertical surface too, very accurately. So we have a smooth surface for the vertical, and we also have a V surface for the vertical. And here you can actually see that this particular level has been scraped on these reference surfaces here. And somebody was, Harold was asking about scraping of levels. So this is one of the reasons I want to scrape that Pratt & Whitney level, is because many precision levels are scraped. Now this one has kind of both surfaces on it. It has smooth ground surfaces, and then it has scraped surfaces as well. So now this one, like I said, you can you can check a wall or some vertical component, the ways of a boring mill, for example. The vertical ways of a boring mill, things like that. So you can set up machinery with this. This is a machinery level. And this one, the sensitivity of this one, let's see, hopefully you guys can see that down there. So one division is 5/10,000ths of an inch in 10 inches. And this is, what is this? I think it's 200 millimeters, right? So this is about 8 inches here. So in 10 inches, one division on the bubble is 5/10,000ths of an inch. So for the metric folks, that's 5/100ths of a millimeter per meter, which is about 10 seconds of arc. Okay, so if you want to convert it to an angle, and this is ground and fabricated very square. It's a one-piece construction. Actually, we have a job that we're working on at work that we have to align two beams to one another, right? And we have to level. Let's see, my hand signals here are actually, you know what? I'll use these as simulators. So we have these two beams that we have to align, right? So we have to level them this way in relation to one another very accurately, and then but that does. You can still be tipped like this. So we're going to use a level similar to this to plumb the front, so to speak. So this has enough resolution that we can hit their accuracy targets just with simple levels. Anyway, this was $150 off eBay, which is a screaming deal. Not as good as the deal that Paul Compton got on his. I think he got a bigger one than this for 10 pounds out of some guy's trunk on the side of the road somewhere. So, I saw that and I was like, oh man, I've been wanting one of those. So I've been keeping my eye peeled on eBay, and this one came up, and actually the guy I was bidding against, I think he forgot to bid. So he's probably pissed right now that he forgot to bid. So because it went fairly cheap. These are well over $1,000 new, and $150 is just 10 cents on the dollar basically. So it's pretty good. Now this is this anti-corrosion paper here. It's kind of this vapor VCI paper here, and things like this that I don't use all the time. I tend to let's put that down in there. Tend to put that in with it just to keep it nice. And I put some new foam in there, and I'm going to take it to work actually, so I put my name in there, and actually this will be on the show and tell on Instagram probably. All right guys, anyway, thanks for watching.